Alright everyone, thank you for joining on my live stream today. This is the 31st January on Sunday. So let's get started. Sorry about the little delay. I was on the GTS session up until now. So let's get started right now. Let's check some weekly charts today and expect what's gonna happen next week. So yeah, basically every Sundays I do the live stream weekly Forex forecast, but I not only cover the Forex pairs, but also I will covering the indexes and commodities, and also in the end we're gonna review what's gonna happen in terms of fundamental news next week, so that you know what to expect, what can impact the market next week on these currency pairs and indexes. So let's get started. Just a quick disclaimer, this information is basically based on my experience and knowledge, so when you take trades, please do with your own risk. And I can see lots of comments in chat, so thank you for joining everyone. Great to see you here, and I hope you're having a great weekend today. So let's go over these Forex pairs first. So let's focus on the pairs that are trending on these major pairs. So let me go over these ones, as these ones are the ones that I check every day, whether it is uptrending, downtrending, ranging. So when I look at the charts, every time I wake up in the morning and I look at the weekly candlesticks and also the daily chart. Every day I look at the daily chart, and every weekend and every Monday I look at the weekly candlesticks, because that's when the candlestick closes towards the weekend. So the candlesticks formation in weekly chart is very important, and especially today is the last day in January. We would like to look at the monthly chart as well, because this is when the monthly chart closes also. So let's check monthly chart and weekly chart today and see what's happening in the market. So starting from the Euro USD, in monthly basis, this is uptrending on the N wave right now. So we're seeing a bigger scope, huge scope in monthly basis, and we see the Kumo twisted bullish, but the Kijun Sen Tenkan Sen is still below the Kumo here, and Chikou span looks to be resisted at this Senko span B. So it might go downwards this way. It might retrace backwards next month. And with that in mind, if you look at the weekly candlesticks, this is retracing. We see Kumo is going up, but the Kijun Sen is flat at the moment, and Chikou span above the candles. So if the Kijun Sen goes up this way, then we can expect the continuous uptrend this way. But once it breaks downwards, breaks the Kijun Sen, then it might retrace backwards to the Kumo here. And now it's kind of ranging, so until we see the next trends, we better wait. And in terms of the candlesticks, I don't see any significant candlesticks. There was a pin bar 4 weeks back here. There was a pin bar, but after that the market retracing backwards. So I think this is still a retracement, so better wait until it goes up and down. So that's the Euro USD. So for now, we better hold until we see some trends next week. Okay. Yeah, thank you for joining everyone. Great to see you here. Great to see you. Karim Kayon or Howard Kong, thank you for rejoining on this Ichimoku community. Welcome back to Ichimoku community, and stay gold, Howard. Alright, Kuet, Mikidomo, David, Ivan, Faya, Golam, Yorun, Alpar, Asif, and Sample, thank you for joining. Alright, good to see you, Shanti, and Paul, Tuan, David, Groovy Kim, and Ryder, Jack Chu, and Restless Amar, Tam, Blackwater, and Maria. Thank you for joining, everyone. Great to see you here. So let's move on to the next pair, which is the Euro AUD. So let's focus on the monthly chart for Euro AUD, and this is flat ranging. Basically the Kumo flat and Kijun-sen flat at the moment, Chikou span overlapping with the candles. So in monthly chart there is no trend. Last month was a doji candlestick, so there was no trend either. And looking at the weekly chart, this is flat also. We see flat Kumo, flat Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen. But Chikou span is below the candles, so we can expect the market go down this way continuously next week. But at the moment, in terms of trend direction, there is no trend. So that means it might come back to Kijun-sen and goes backwards this way. So in that sense, this is not the best timing to look for the sell chance, in my opinion. In fact, the last 2 weeks was bullish candles, so we have to wait for the retracement to sell. And Euro Pound monthly chart, completely in the range. You see the Kijun-sen has been flat the whole time, Chikou span overlapping with the candles, and Kumo is flat and very tiny Kumo here. So their wicks pointing up and downwards every month, and there is no trend on this one. And in monthly basis was flat, and on the weekly chart this is also flat. We see Kumo completely flat, and Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen are pointing downwards, but because of this Kumo flatness, the market can come back to the Senko span B here and be in the range still completely. So Chikou span is below the candles, but this is not breaking the low yet. So we better wait for the clear Chikou span breakout. Especially Chikou span break of the Kumo is also significant. So when it happens like this, then that will be a sell chance over here after the Chikou span break of the Kumo, but now this is the range overall. So I think this is not a good timing to buy or sell in the long term. So going to Euro JPY. So I'm covering the Euro pairs first. So Euro JPY here in the monthly chart. Okay, so this is also the range in terms of the Ichimoku view here. The Kumo flat and the price is in between Kijun-sen and the Kumo. Chikou span also touching the candles, so there is no trend. Now we have the N wave, the bullish N wave. So it might penetrate the Kumo and goes up this way, because right here the Kumo is very thin here and flat. So when you see thin Kumo and flat Kumo, then the market can penetrate upwards. So in this N wave, it can go up, and last 3 months has been bullish. So with that in mind, let's look at the weekly chart and see the potential uptrend. So yeah, over here now we see the bullish N wave. We see consecutive bullish N wave like this way, and the market looks to be continuously uptrending like this way. So now we have the Kumo Senko span A up, and Tenkan-sen is also up, Chikou span above the candles. So what we have to wait for buy chance is that the Kijun-sen goes up this way next week, and then I would look for the buy chance. So I think Euro JPY, if it breaks higher, then that will make the Kijun-sen up. So in that sense, I will just mark this one, Euro JPY, to be uptrending. And then moving on to Euro CAD pair monthly chart, it's flat ranging also, completely ranging. And also this is like the fishbone chart, right there, where there is a wick pointing up and downwards, spiky, very spiky every month. So Kumo flat, Kijun-sen flat, Chikou span also touching the candles. So there is no trend on the monthly chart. So weekly chart also flat. Everything's flat, Chikou span touching the candles. So there is no trend. So this one is not the good one to look at next week. And Euro CHF monthly chart, this is also the range, we see Kumo flat, Kijun Sen flat. The Kijun Sen is in the Kumo here. We see doji candles January and December. There were 2 consecutive doji candles. Chikou span below the candles, so this is downtrending. But I don't see the downtrend direction in this monthly chart because Kumo and Kijun Sen are both flat at the moment. So looking at the weekly chart, this is also flat ranging. We see Kumo flat, Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen flat, Chikou span touching also. So yeah, this one we have to avoid taking trade. This is in the P wave structure. This is the P wave. So better wait for the breakout towards either up or downwards. But I don't think it's gonna break out anytime soon. At least next week, I don't think it's gonna break out. So I think it's gonna be continuously ranging next week. So I won't look at the Euro CHF next week. And so that covers the whole Euro pairs. And moving on to the USD pair, Uss Jpy. And monthly chart, this is slightly moving down. We see the Kumo Senko span B's going down, and Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen are both moving down, and Chikou span below the candles. So now, in the monthly chart basis, this is downtrending. I think it's gonna go down in the long term, in this super long term market momentum here. And we see the engulfing bar. We see engulfing on this previous 2 candles. So once it breaks downwards on this level, 102.55 area, then it can continuously go down this way. And with that in mind, looking at the weekly chart, there is a retracement. There is a retracement in the Kumo flat, Kijun Sen flat. But the next week topic is whether the market is going to be resisted by the Kijun Sen or not. If the market resists by the Kijun Sen, then it goes downwards according to the monthly chart in the long term. So that would be a great sell chance. But if it breaks upwards and be within the Kijun Sen and the Kumo here, then it's range, so not to take trades. So that will be the thing that we have to look at on this USD JPY pair. And USD CHF, let's see. Alright, USD CHF is nice downtrending at the moment. We see Kumo down, Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen both pointing downwards, and the Chikou span also below the candles. So I think this is going down continuously. And coming to weekly chart, it's ranging. We see the Kumo Senko span B flat, A is down, but Kijun Sen is flat at the moment. And now it's consolidating for the couple weeks in the past. But once it breaks downwards on this 0.8755 level, then it can go down this way. So we better wait for the breakout and look for the sell chance afterwards. And it might happen next week. This breakout might happen next week. So I will mark this USD CHF also. And USD CAD monthly chart. Okay, so there's a huge retracement after the March. This last year there was a huge retracement, and now this is going backwards. It's going down this way. But if you see Kumo here, it's not twisted yet. This is still bullish Kumo and flat. We see Tenkan Sen, Kijun Sen did cross over here, and Chikou span breakout is happening too. And also Kumo breakout is happening too, but because the Kumo is not twisted yet, this Kumo breakout might become fake and it might go upwards this way. So if you are looking for the sell chance in the long term, I would wait for the Kumo twist bearish on the monthly chart and then look for the sell chance accordingly. But I think it's gonna go down in the long term. So with that in mind, let's look at the weekly chart and potentially see where we can sell. So here's the weekly chart, and we see the Kumo sloping down, and Kijun Sen, I think this is gradually pointing downwards, and the market has been resisted by this Tenkan-sen. There is a wick resisted by the Tenkan-sen here, and Chikou span below the candles. So I think next week there's a good chance that the market is being resisted by this Tenkan-sen and goes downwards this way. So yeah, USS CAD, I will mark this one for the sell chance next week. Alright, so far so good everyone. I hope I'm not really moving too quick. If you miss any of this information, then please watch the video later, because everything is saved in the archive, so you can always replay and enjoy my analysis every week. So let's go to pound pairs, pound USD monthly chart. Let's see. Oh, this is exactly in the Kumo. So as soon as I see the market is exactly in the Kumo, I won't look at that time frame. So I look at the weekly chart and see this is uptrending. Yeah, weekly chart shows a nice uptrend. So because the Kumo up, Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen up, Chikou span uptrending. So simply I expect the market goes up this way. Last week was doji candlestick here, so yeah, better wait for the breakout at the previous high at 1.375 area. Then look for the buy chance. So I will mark this one pound USD for the buy chance next week. And the pound JPY monthly chart. Okay, so this is now going towards the Kumo here. It's almost going into the Kumo. And because this is range, I mean Kumo flat, and the market is in between Kijun-sen and the Kumo here, and Chikou span with the candles. So I won't look at the monthly chart because this is the range in terms of Ichimoku definition. So going to the weekly chart. Alright, on weekly I see there is a nice uptrend. We see Kumo up, Kijun Tenkan-sen up, and Chikou span uptrending, and we have a consecutive bullish candles in the past on this pound JPY. So I will continuously look for buy chance of pound JPY next week also. I took 2 trades of pound JPY and both were in profit, so I will continuously look for the buy chance on this one next week onwards. So let's go to pound AUD here. Alright, pound AUD monthly chart, we see the price is exactly in the Kumo, so I won't look at this one. And weekly chart, yeah, this is below the Kijun-sen and the Kumo sloping down. Kijun-sen is flat, Chikou span is very close to the candles, so this is more towards the range market. So but I can see that there is recently there are more sellers and buyers in the market, because the lows are pretty much at the same level, but the highs are getting lower and lower. So this is a type of the P wave structure. So if the market will be resisted by the Kijun-sen and goes backwards this way, and then I expect the market breaks the previous low at this 1.740 area. Then look for the sell chance. And I'm not sure if that's gonna happen next week. I don't think it's gonna happen next week because to the previous low there are 500 pips below. So I think this is too wide for 1 week to happen. So I don't think it's gonna happen next week, but in the long term I think this is downtrending. So yeah, I would just wait for the breakout. And let's see, the next one, pound CAD pair in the monthly chart. This is exactly into the Kumo here, so I don't look at this one. And also this is also the type of fishbone, right, where there is wicks pointing up and downwards, exactly in the range market, spiky, so no trace. Kumo very thin here, Chikou span exactly with the candles, and Kijun-sen completely flat. So completely in the range, so not good one to look for trading edges. And I think weekly chart also flat. Yeah, the weekly chart shows also the flat ranging and this is a P wave structure, but I'm not sure which way it's breaking. It may go upwards or downwards, and we don't know which way it's going. So I think once it breaks towards either direction, then we can just follow it. But because the monthly chart also ranging and the weekly chart also ranging, even if we see the P wave breakout, then it might become fake and goes backwards this way, or it might be resisted by the previous high, like over here, and it goes backwards this way too. In the lower part too, it might be supported at the previous low, at the previous swing low on this 1.654, and goes upwards this way too. So yeah, so to make the long story short, I won't look at this pair. There is no trend, so I won't look at this one next week. And going to AUD USD pair and looking at the monthly chart, the market is exactly into the Kumo now, so I won't look at this one. And the weekly chart is bullish. The equivalent bullish because the market is above Tenkan Kijun Kumo and Chikou span above the candles, but direction wise it's flat. We see Kijun Sen is flat at the moment, so once the Kijun Sen points upwards, then that will be a buy chance. And because the Tenkan Sen, this part is pointing upwards, Tenkan Sen is up, so there is a good chance that the market will be supported by the Tenkan Sen and goes up this way. So AUD USD, I will put this one on my watch list next week. And AUD JPY monthly chart, yeah, retracing backwards, ranging in the monthly chart, so I don't look at this one. And the weekly chart, yeah, this is uptrending. We see the consecutive N waves, and now it's going up. Last 2 weeks has been engulfing candlesticks, or last 3 weeks actually has been engulfed by this one bullish candle. So it's been exactly in this range. So in between 80.9 and 78.7, the market is in the range. So I would wait for the breakout towards the upwards this way, then I will look for the buy chance. So if the market breaks 80.9 or exact number of 81.0, then I will look for buy chance next week. But if it goes backwards this way and breaks lower 78.7, then I won't look for the sell chance because now the market might be going into the range. So yeah, AUD JPY, I will look for buy chance next week, so I will mark this one too. And AUD CAD pair monthly chart, let's see what we can find. Okay, so this is very interesting. We see the Kumo breakout after the Tenkan Sen Kijun Sen cross, and Chikou span breakout, we see Kumo breakout too. But once again, the Kumo here is not twisted bullish yet. So we have to wait another month to come. So another month's candle close will become above the previous high. And if the Kumo twists bullish, then we can look for the buy chance on monthly chart. But now this is still in a range, and we see the pin bar last month. So it might go backwards this way. It might go down this way. So let's look at the weekly chart. Okay, so in weekly chart, this is uptrending. Yeah, we see the continuous uptrend. So after the breakout of the previous high, this over here. Oops, hold on. I got too many lines on this chart. Hold on. Yeah, so after the breakout of this 1.990 or exact number of 1.0, then that will become a buy chance. And it might happen next week, so I will keep an eye on AUD CAD also. So it looks like there are a couple pairs that are potential trend next week on weekly chart. So now let's go to AUD CHF pair in the monthly chart. Let's see. Okay, this is range, right? Simply because the market is in between Kumo Kijun Sen in the range, and we had doji candle last month in January. So going to the weekly chart, yeah, this is bullish. The weekly chart shows bullish, so it might go upwards this way continuously. So once it breaks the higher level at this 0.691, then I will look to buy. So AUD CHF, I mark this one too, and going to the CAD JPY. Yeah, I will be covering the platinum too. Yeah, let's check the platinum and gold soon. After I finish all these pairs, we have 2 pairs left. So let's check that one later. So alright, so here is CAD JPY in the monthly chart, now ranging, right? Simply because once again the market is in between Kumo Kijun Sen, Chikou span touching, so I don't look at the monthly chart. One thing that I noticed though is that the market has been resisted by this trend line, like this way. So yeah, it might be resisted over here and goes backwards this way. It's possible by the price action. So with that in mind, let's look at the monthly or weekly chart. So as per weekly chart, this is uptrending. Yeah, it's uptrending, but last couple weeks has been ranging, because I think that's because there is a descending trend line on monthly chart. So although we see the up Kumo and up Kijun Sen, it might become fake and goes backwards this way. So what I will be doing in this case will be, if the market breaks the previous high at this 82.2 level, then I will look for buy chance, because if it happens, then it will be the clear breakout. So if the breakout happens next week, then I will look for buy chance and expect the market continuously go bullish this way. But if the market reverses backwards and goes down this way, then I won't look for sell chance, because now it's into the range in the weekly chart. But if I see downtrend on the daily chart or the forward chart next week, then I take a trade. So let's see if it happens next week. Okay, so let's see. So let's move on to the final one, the last one, CHF JPY. So CHF JPY monthly chart. Oh, so this is exactly in the Kumo now, so I don't look at this one. And the monthly chart, so weekly chart shows the market has been resisted at this previous high, at this 117.93 level. It's been resisted a couple of times in the past, once, twice, and 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and now it's retesting 6 times here. So 117.93 is the psychological line, and in this case I expect the market breaks upwards this way, and simply because the Tenkan Sen is above the Kijun Sen, while the Kumo up and Kijun Sen up this way, and Chikou span technically above the candles too, so that's why I expect the market breaks higher this way. So next week I will be looking for buy chance on this one, CHF JPY. Okay, but next week, as the market consolidate like this way next week, and if the Kumo becomes flat and Kijun Sen becomes flat, then I won't look for buy chance anymore, because it might retrace backwards. But now they are pointing upwards, so I will look for buy chance. Okay, so that covers the whole Forex pairs on my watch list. So now let's switch to the commodities and let's check the gold, oil, and platinum. So first let's check the gold. I know there's a big discussion on gold in terms of which direction it goes. So yeah, let me focus on the technical analysis today by Ichimoku. So in gold, the monthly chart, this is uptrending because the Kumo is pointing upwards, Senko span A up, Kijun Sen up, and I think Tenkan Sen also upwards. Let me hide the candlesticks. Yeah, Tenkan Sen is moving up too. Yeah, and the Chikou span above the candles too. So in this bigger scope, this is uptrending. So I expect the market goes up continuously this way on the monthly chart basis. And we have the P wave at the moment. So let's go to the weekly chart. And as per weekly chart, it's range because Kumo flat, Kijun Sen flat, Chikou span touching, breaking the candlestick sideways, and also the price is in between the Kijun Sen and the Kumo here. So I think in the shorter terms, there are ups and downs, but on this bigger scope weekly chart, it's a range market. And now there is a P wave because the highs are lower and the lows are higher. So this is a P wave. So you can draw the lines. Hold on, sorry. You can draw the lines like this way. And once it breaks towards upwards, then that will be a buy chance. I expect the market goes up this way because monthly chart shows up trending. So at the breakout, that will be a buy chance. But now it's ranging, so it might go down. Once the P wave is broken downwards and the market goes into the Kumo, then no trade until the market breaks the Kumo Senko span B downwards this way. Then that will be a sell chance. But I expect next week or next week can be the range on weekly chart with less volatility in the market, so I won't look at this gold next week. Unless there is any big movement happens, I will just stay away. So let's go to the platinum monthly chart. Okay, so platinum monthly chart forms the exact doji candle. So yeah, this is interesting. We see Kumo up, Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen up, Chikou span above the candles. So this is uptrending. But last month, the last month of January was exactly the doji cross. So this is like doji from textbook. This is a beautiful doji. So basically, in theory, we better wait for the breakout towards either direction. So let's go to weekly chart. So weekly chart also has dojis here, and now gradually it's going up. So in this case, at this rate, I think it's gonna break upwards this way. So I would wait for the breakout of this 1156.78 and buy afterwards. Yeah, now Tenkan Sen above the Kijun Sen and Kumo pointing upwards, Chikou span above the candles. So at this rate, I expect the market breaks upwards this way. So yeah, that's my analysis on this platinum. And let's look at the crude oil. Okay, crude oil has been ranging on the weekly chart, and on the monthly chart also it's ranging. This is in between Kumo Kijun Sen ranging, Chikou span touching also, and the weekly chart last 3 weeks have been ranging also. So looks like the market is consolidating now. So I would wait for the breakout. I mean, this is step trending on weekly chart, so waiting for the breakout at this 53.9 and look for buy chance would be the idea here. Yeah, doji breakout is very powerful. If you see doji breakout, especially towards the correct direction, then it breaks up and it goes upwards very fast. So that will be one thing that I wait for on this one. And let's check indexes. Let's move on to the indexes monthly chart from Nikkei. There was a doji on the January, but still this is uptrending. Kumo up, Kijun Sen Tenkan Sen up, Chikou span above the candles, and this is all-time high. But because the Kumo is very thin here, it might be retracement. And especially if you have a doji candlestick and if it breaks lower this way, then it might retrace backwards to a Tenkan Sen or Kijun Sen. So we have to wait for the retracement. And potentially sell might be the option after the breakout. And Dow Jones monthly chart shows it's the uptrend, still Kumo up, Tenkan Kijun up, Chikou span above the candles. So this is uptrending. So look for buy chance would be the great. January was retracement, but overall it's still uptrending. And Nasdaq here, let's see, Nasdaq also shows uptrend nicely, but last month January was doji candlestick, so yeah, better wait for the breakout towards either direction and take trades accordingly. And yeah, S&P 500 also monthly chart shows uptrending, but last month was bearish, so retracement and goes up this way. So this is still bullish. And Euro stocks monthly chart, this is now becoming flat. Kumo flat, Kijun Sen is flat, and Chikou span above the candles, but this is flat ranging on the monthly chart. So it's the range market in the bigger scope. Compared to US stocks, it's flat. And FTSE 100, this is also flat. This is also flat ranging. We see the wick high, and I think Kijun Sen should be pointing upwards too. Tenkan Sen up, and Chikou span above the candles, but last month was retracement also. So this is the time for consolidation, I believe. And CAC France also ranging on monthly chart. Kumo flat, Kijun Sen flat, Chikou span still close to the candles, so there is no direction in this monthly long term. And Nifty also had a huge retracement last month in January, but still this is overall uptrending. We see Kumo up, Kijun Sen Tenkan Sen up, Chikou span above the candles, but because of this thin Kumo here, like Nikkei, right, Nifty also has the very thin Kumo here. So next month in February might be retracement this way. So if you want to buy on the Nifty, then always have the correct risk management. Always place a stop loss, take 2% risk per trade, and buy, because there might be retracement next week in February. So let's go to Hang Seng. It's also flat ranging. We see Kumo flat, Kijun Sen flat, Chikou span touching. So, and there's a wick upwards, resisted at this previous high. So yeah, there might be some retracement too. It's the range market. There's no direction. And AU200 also shows that this is flat ranging. We see Kumo flat, Kijun Sen flat. So in monthly chart, this is ranging. And DAX index here is the uptrend here. This is the uptrend. We see Kumo up, Kijun Sen Tenkan Sen up, and Chikou span above the candles. So in this monthly chart, this is uptrend. Although we saw the retracement in the month of January, overall it's the uptrend, so it can go up on this bullish wave like this way. Okay, so that covers the whole indexes, and I will look at these weekly charts and the daily chart next week as I do these lives and videos every day. But for now, I just focus on the monthly chart because this is the end of the month. So always better to look at the bigger picture and break it down to lower time frames during the day, during the week. Alright, so let's cover the some of the news that's gonna come up next week. So yeah, time flies. We are already towards February. So let's see. Monday, February 1st, we have couple news here. Retail sales in Germany can be impacted, and also we have the manufacturing PMI in the US. So this is pretty huge. In 15 UTC, there is an USD news here PMI. So you have to watch out when you take trades on the Monday and USD currency pairs. And moving on to Tuesday, we have AUD, interest rate statement, and then also GDP report. GDP report and Euro is very strong. So that's the very interesting one to watch, and at 10 UTC time zone. And also we have New Zealand news here, unemployment rate in New Zealand towards the end of the Tuesday. And Wednesday we have the AUD governor speech, and also CPI and Euro. So we have to watch out Euro pairs on Wednesday and Tuesday. And also this is one of the important ones next week is the ADP. ADP employment rate report will be there in the US. So watch out of the USD pair on Wednesday. And also we have the ones that are important is the pound in US. Of course there will be a monetary policy in pound, I mean in UK. So watch out at 12 UTC on Thursday. And also finally on Friday you have to watch out on this non-farm payrolls in the US on Friday. And also we have unemployment rate in Canada on Friday. So every month we have big news in Forex pairs. So next week can be very busy with these big news in the market. So watch out this interest rate in GDP reports, and also ADP employment rate report, and also the non-farm payrolls in the US. Alright, so that covers the news that's gonna happen next week. So I've took some trades last week, and some of them are losses and break-evens and wins. So overall we see some trends last week, and next week I expect some trends too on these Forex pairs, especially Pound JPY. I keep my eye because on the daily chart this is still trending nicely, and also the Pound USD also shows uptrend. So in the daily chart or lower time frames, I watch out these pound pairs. Pound USD, Pound JPY will be the ones that I focus next week. Pound USD also show the P wave, ascending P wave. So I also expect the breakout this way on the daily chart. So yeah, always follow the major trend direction by looking at these 5 lines of Ichimoku. You know, at first Ichimoku might be complicated, and that was happening to me too. When I first saw the Ichimoku 5 lines, I thought it's complicated. What is Kumo? What is Chikou span? Why the Chikou span is shifted backwards? Why Kumo is shifted forward? What is Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen? What's the difference between Ichimoku lines and moving average? I had these questions and thoughts and doubts all over when I was a newbie. But once I figure out what's gonna happen in the market by Ichimoku 5 lines, then the things became very simple. So now I only take less than 10 minutes to screen all these pairs which one is trending, which is ranging. I only take less than 10 minutes to screen up to take trades. So yeah, hopefully by watching my live streams and videos every day, because I have videos and lives in different topics every day, so you keep gaining the knowledge from the way I look at the markets, analyze and take trades, and hopefully you become a non-losing trader is my goal for this YouTube channel. And if you're interested to know the depth of Ichimoku, then you can always join the Ichimoku community. This is a monthly subscription. This is $29 per monthly basis, and you get 3 books that I wrote, and you get the community to get all these Ichimoku knowledges. But if you are interested to learn the way I take trades, the risk management, and multiple time frames, and lot sizing, and trading journals, then GTS will be the one for you. So you can click on the link to the screen below, and you can find the details on my website. So let's see what's gonna happen next week, but hopefully we see some trends, and I'm sure we're gonna see some trends next week. So yeah, always look for and wait for the trend to come. When it's ranging, then no trade whatsoever. Especially when you see the price in the Kumo, in the daily chart, then no trades. No trades. That's what I do. So yep, there will be another live stream tomorrow. On Monday, every Mondays I run the Forex Tester 4 and show my strategies one by one. But in the month of February, I decided to pick the topic on that day. So now up until January, this is a bit about my thing, but in the month of January, and before I created this program guide and chose a topic to talk about, right, on every day. But in the month of February, I decided not to do it because I want to be more flexible to the topics. For example, like on this day, on the 5th of January, I was planning to talk about Chikou span breakout on this 5th of January, but when I was seeing the market, I wanted to talk about Kumo breakout because Kumo breakout was happening everywhere. So there is no point to talk about Chikou span breakout on the 5th. So in the month of February, I will pick up the topic what I will be talking about right before the live stream happens. So you know the topic from the title on the announcement, but you're not gonna see this program guide anymore, so that I can be more flexible to what to talk about on that day. As the market changes every day, sometimes I'm gonna talk about the stop loss, sometimes I'm gonna talk about the where to buy. When I take a buy or sell, then I wanna talk about how I took these buys and sells and break evens. So that will be something new in February. But I hope you still enjoy my lives and videos every day. So yeah, because we are towards the new month in February, so hopefully we get excited to catch some trends next month onwards. So thank you for joining everyone once again. I do see your comments and questions, but unfortunately I have to switch it to the Ichimoku Zoom Cafe today, which is the monthly event on this Ichimoku community. So yeah, I hope to see you on tomorrow's public live on Monday. So until I see you next time, please have a great weekend. Please stay safe and stay healthy and stay gold. Alright, bye for now. Mata ne. Thank you.